Hey y'all, it's your girl Tashondarenaee back with another video. Today's video is gonna be different from what I usually do. As many of you know, I posted a video of my day of surgery, so I wanted to come to you today with an update video. At the end of 2019, I was diagnosed with what's called a radial sclerosing lesion on my left breast. Had no clue what it was. There was no information on YouTube about it. I was able to Google some things, but still didn't really know what it meant for me to be diagnosed with this lesion. So 2 weeks ago, on March the 2nd, I had surgery to have the sclerosing lesion removed. The surgery was called a radioactive seed-guided breast lumpectomy. It was on my left breast. So I had that removed, as well as had an additional biopsy done to test the cells around the lesion to see if they were cancerous or not. So I'm going to go back and tell you how I even came to the diagnosis. On sometime around October or November of last year, I was cleaning my bedroom and I bent down and I felt a pain in my left breast. Well, it kind of felt like it was in my breast, but it also felt like it could have been like on my chest wall. It did concern me, but I ignored it. Continued to clean up, and later that day, I felt the pain again. So I said something to my mother, and she's like, well, you better get it checked out. I ignored it, never got it checked out. Well, sometime in November, while I was at work, I started feeling that pain again. And I still couldn't really tell whether it was my breast or my chest that was hurting. So I kind of really got concerned then, and I finished my work day up. And as I was driving home from work that night, I began to feel pain in my left arm. So quite naturally, I thought I was having signs of a heart attack. So I drove myself to the emergency room. They did a bunch of tests, EKGs and chest x-rays and blood tests, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. The ER doctor told me just to follow up with my primary doctor. So I already had an appointment scheduled with my gynecologist, so I said, well, I'll just tell her about the pain that I'm having in my chest or my breast. And so that's what I did. And she was concerned, and she asked me about my family history of breast cancer and heart attacks and all those types of things. She couldn't really find anything wrong, or she didn't know what was wrong. So she asked if I wanted to do a mammogram, and I originally said no, because I just thought it would pass. I didn't really know what it was. So I told her no. And she said, well, okay. But as she was walking out of the exam room, she doubled back and she said, no, you're going to get that mammogram, because I would hate for us to miss something. So that was the beginning of December. A week or so later, I had my first mammogram done. And it took maybe the day after the first mammogram, or maybe 2 days later, I got my results back, and it was my gynecologist. She called and she said, well, they did find something on your left breast. I was shocked. I never thought they were going to find anything on my breast. They were not sure if it was cancer, and they were going to need to biopsy again a second time. She told me that it could possibly be what's called a radial sclerosing lesion. I had absolutely no clue what that was, but she told me that it could be that. So we scheduled the second biopsy for December 26th, had the second biopsy, And I also had an ultrasound done as well. I actually had the ultrasound done with the first mammogram. Sorry. Yeah, I had the ultrasound and a mammogram done on the same day the first time. So when the results came back from the second biopsy, they were able to confirm the diagnosis of a radial sclerosing lesion. And the diagnosis was very scary. I was concerned. I had absolutely no clue what it meant to have a radial sclerosing lesion. When I got my results back from the second mammogram and the doctor was able to confirm the lesion, what she told me was that no cancer cells were detected, but she wanted to refer me to a breast surgeon to have it removed, because what I was told was that if it were not removed, that it would eventually turn to cancer once it grows to a certain size. Now, at that point, I wasn't sure what size my lesion was, but I wanted to get it removed no matter what size it was. So I did. I went to the breast surgeon that she had referred me to, and I did not like her at all. She was rude and condescending. She told me that she couldn't understand my level of worry because what I had going on wasn't a big deal. So I had my primary doctor to refer me to another breast surgeon, and he was great. He explained to me what it meant to have a radial sclerosing lesion. But something that alarmed me was he told me that the biopsy doctor never should have told me that there was no cancer. And the reason he said that she should have never told me that was because the cells around the lesion had not been tested. Only the lesion had been biopsied. And he said that the radial sclerosing lesions are never cancerous themselves. He said what can be cancerous is the cells around the lesion. So that I was immediately on high alert. I was hella concerned. But we went ahead and scheduled surgery for March the 2nd. And did the surgery. The surgery was a success. So yes, when you before surgery, you do have to have a radioactive seed inserted into your breast, into the area where the surgeon has to go in to do surgery. So I will talk a little bit about the procedure of inserting the radioactive seed. So how that works, you're sitting in a radiation chair. I guess I don't really know a good name for it. And the doctor, she numbs your breast, the area where she thinks the seed needs to go. She numbs the breast. Then she sticks a larger needle inside where they've numbed the breast. And that larger needle holds the radioactive seed. At that point, when they're inserting that bigger needle in, you should be numb and not feeling anything. You may feel some pressure. I did feel some pressure because I have dense breast tissue, so I was able to feel pressure, but not a lot of pain. So that part of that procedure takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes, as long as they get an accurate reading once they test it. That procedure doesn't take long at all. Then I had the actual procedure. The surgery took maybe an hour, maybe it probably wasn't even really an hour. Beforehand, my surgeon was unable to tell me if he was going to make the incision across my breast or if he was going to make it around my areola. And he ended up going around my areola and making the incision. So I was very pleased with that. I wanted as less visible scarring as possible. He made the incision around my areola, went in and extracted the lesion and also biopsied the cells, the tissue around the lesion, so that we could check for cancer cells. And that was pretty much it for the main procedure. And everything went well. It did take a week to get my results back from the surgery. And thank God, when I got my results back, everything was benign. There was no cancer found around the lesion. Although there was no cancer found and everything is benign at this point, I am still considered very high risk for breast cancer because I've had this radial sclerosing lesion. There's just no cancer found, so I thank God for that. Now, after surgery, the day of surgery, I had absolutely no pain. I was highly alert. No, my family just couldn't believe how alert I was. I felt like I had just had a good sleep. But yeah, there was absolutely 100% no pain the first day. The second day after surgery, I did begin to feel some pain. It wasn't too bad, but there definitely was some pain there. I was on, they did prescribe me tramadol, so that did ease the pain a lot. But I don't like taking pain medicine, so I took, I think, maybe one pill that first day. The third day, I was in pain. I began to experience some shooting pains, but again, it was nothing that the pain medicine didn't help. I would take either ibuprofen or I would take the tramadol, and it would alleviate the pain. So it's really not a bad procedure. Pain level wasn't too bad. I was on medical leave for 2 weeks from work. There's no possible way I could have went back to work before 2 weeks, because the pain has lasted the entire 2 weeks, but it's mild pain. So one thing helped me tremendously that I would suggest for anybody that is going through anything similar, a sports bra. I purchased a few sports bras before surgery because I thought they may help. They have helped me tremendously. I guess the reason they've helped is because your breasts aren't moving around, so they're just kind of holding the breast in place and allowing your breasts to heal. So yes, I would suggest for anyone in a similar situation to purchase a few sports bras if you can. Tremendous help. I don't know where I would be without those sports bras. Yeah, so that is my surgery story. I just wanted to get that out there, share that with you all. I've had a lot of you all ask me what type of procedure I had, and I've gotten a lot of well wishes and a lot of prayers, and I thank you all. It has been very much appreciated. Yeah, so have a great day. Thanks for watching.